Hi, this is a introductory video for Cut Up Solo Barsoom. Now, before I get into showing you this book, every single Cut Up Solo book has a little credit to Alex Yari's Tilt. Now, the Tilt Oracle is this is my PDF copy. Um, well, I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. It's 17 pages. And the first part is a kind of yes no oracle, which is it's a different take on the oracle. For me, it's a little bit number crunchy, and I'm not so keen on it. But that's everyone to their own. Part three is where the cut ups section starts. Was the inspiration behind all the cut up books, and it shows you, how it works, the prep work. Now, this one actually uses literal cut up pieces of paper or rewriting small uh, you know, snippets of text. But then it goes on to the examples and mentioning software, online text randomizers, text splitters. So there's all kinds of tools there. And then there's an example. It's just 5 pages on the back of the Tilt book, which inspired all of these cut up solo books. So that's Tilt. That is the book that is mentioned in the credits of every cut up solo book. So what you get this time is these are based upon the John Carter of Mars, or the Mars series by Edgar Rice Burroughs. When I started looking into this, the first 5 books were available on Project Gutenberg, but because they went out of copyright in 2020, 70 years after Edgar Rice Burroughs' death, although others were available, they were not. They hadn't been digitized. No one had actually put them on Project Gutenberg yet. But I discovered that the original stories that became the books had been published much earlier, between 1913 1941, and serialized in sort of the magazines of the day. And these had gone out of copyright much earlier and were available. You just had to sort of find them and put them back together. So that's what I did. Now, there are 12 books in the Martian series, and the text from 11 of them are in this book and the spreadsheets. The 12th book was not published until 1964. It was published posthumously, so it's just not available. So we're talking 300 no, so 3/4 of a million words of text inside this the spreadsheet. So what you get is that pretty much the front matter doesn't change much from one cut up book to another. So you still get the introduction to it. The bits of art have come from the illustrations. So it's how do you cut up? There's an example here. So if I was to roll a D1000, what have I got here? That's come up with 391. I will just skip forward, find 391. Here we go. It starts with man or beast presently, and holding down the Alt key as you highlight means you can take 5 or however many you wanted consecutively. Now you've got 2 columns of text here, so it's 2 D1000 tables with the numbers separating them. So once you've got them, let's just skip back to where we were. You find your snippets, and then I take 20 at a time. And if you can see what I've done up in this paragraph here, The red bits are words I've added, or where it strike out words I've removed to make them read a little bit better. And the double slashes show the joins between the different snippets. And so I've from these 20, I have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and strung them together to create what the game master would say to me. And that comes out as you found the old surgeon lying on a dirt floor. Without waiting to learn the facts, the officer in charge of the dark aperture took up the pursuit to meet this new assault. And that's my first my first little bit here. And it creates, well, I've got two NPCs there. I've got the old surgeon that may or may not be dead. I've got this officer, and I've got obviously this dirt floor, but there's an aperture as well, which I'm kind of imagining to be some kind of tunnel. And there is the implication of there's some kind of assault, or maybe some creatures coming through the aperture. So that's kind of my start, and then I can react to that, and say what I would do. I can ask questions, and so the game begins. And you know, the next GM response, you take more snippets. I take 20 at a time. I paste them into a text editor, then I can copy and paste them about, and muck them about until I get what I'm happy with. But you're always dealing with what the random dice or the random tables what they gave you. So you've got no control over the output apart from the fact that you're looking for the patterns within it to create the text. I also mentioned the spreadsheet here, so I'll bring the spreadsheet up. So there's 4 tabs. Yeah, you can see them. The first 2 are just a little bit of help on using it. The snippets table, this has the 20 snippets. Now F9 in most spreadsheets will recalculate the table, and so it's giving you 20 new snippets at a time. And I just highlight the lot, put them into a text editor. The Barsoom tab, that has it all. Now, if you were to do Control F and say put in surgeon and find all, it will find oh look, that one that was the start of my text was actually the very first. It's row 197 in the spreadsheet. But here, if I was dealing with the surgeon, if he was a character in my scene, and I wanted to make sure that there was you know, references to him to try and keep it all consistent, I could use there's 25 here. I could copy and paste those into the top, and then try and work them in. So here, the spreadsheet works a little bit like a concordance. So yeah, and clicking that obviously will jump me straight to that section, and I could take, say, the 5, 2 before and 2 after, to create some more random. These are all randomized, so they won't form a structure just by taking consecutive ones. So let's go back to the spreadsheet. So that was the spreadsheet. So you can either attack the entire list, or you can use the randomized samples. If you wanted to play away from the computer, you could actually just highlight, say, 200 rows, put them into a text editor, and then print them off, and then take them away with you. There's, say, 2,000 in the PDF. The PDF is 123 pages, including the cover, so 122 pages. Oh, yeah, so those are the instructions about searching there. And then there's an example of play. Then we get the actual snippets themselves, and then we're into the images. Now, Now, these are a combination of the covers. Um, Here are the covers of all those magazines that contain the stories. Now, the pictures on the covers of the magazines are some of the most kind of dynamic and obviously they're all in color. They're quite action packed. So I've included those because I think they give lots of visual information. But there's also, as we go in, there's a few color plates. There's not many of those, but there's a few color plates, and then we get to here we go. These kind of inks drawings, and these are the illustrations from inside of those different magazines. And there's quite a few of those. Some of them are larger than others. Here you got a few on a page. Um, there's no point just throwing in more and more pages, but they give you just another source of information which is not coming from within you. Um, and so there you go. That's it. That's up to page 122. Um, the images, the snippets, I think it's 75 images, oh, 69 images. 69 images, 2,000 snippets, and then 169,000 snippets in the spreadsheet. So that's it. That is Cut Up Solo Barsoom.